Let me ask you something. Why is it that we know exactly what's good for us, but we resist it anyway? Why does exercising feel like a punishment? Learning something new seem like a burden? Or building healthy habits feel exhausting? Have you ever wondered why we struggle with things that are meant to improve our lives? You're not alone if you've ever felt this way. We all face this internal battle. But today, we're going to take a different approach. We're not just going to talk about the struggle. We're going to find the solution. We're going to uncover the mindset shift that will make growth not just easier, but something you look forward to. So stay with me, and let's figure this out together. Let me ask you a tough question. What's wrong with you? Now, I don't mean that in an attacking way. This is not about self-criticism. This is about asking yourself the hard questions, the kind of questions that can lead to breakthroughs. Because here's the thing. So many of us push ourselves to do things that we know are good for us. We drag ourselves to the gym, force ourselves to read, and push through our routines. But let's be real for a second. It doesn't always feel good, does it? We get stuck in this constant loop of trying to stay disciplined, trying to stick to our goals. But it feels like we're fighting against something, doesn't it? We're trying to be someone we're not yet, forcing ourselves into habits that don't feel right, making growth feel like a never-ending struggle. The issue isn't that the tasks are inherently bad. The problem is how we view them. We've been taught, conditioned even, to see these things. Exercising, learning, sticking to routines as burdens. We treat them like chores, something we have to do, instead of gifts that will shape our lives for the better. Now let's break this down further. Why is it that when we have the opportunity to improve, we shy away? Why is it that we resist things that will elevate us? Let's talk about exercise for a moment. How many times have you dragged yourself to the gym, telling yourself that you'll feel better afterward, but in the moment, it feels like a punishment? Why is that? The reality is we've trained ourselves to see it as something we must endure, rather than something that makes us stronger and more resilient. What if, instead of thinking, I have to work out, you thought, I get to work out? Imagine seeing your workout not as a task, but as an opportunity to improve, to feel better in your own skin, to be stronger and healthier. That shift in mindset changes everything. When you change your perspective about exercise, you begin to unlock a power that goes beyond the physical. You tap into mental resilience. You get to see each rep, each set, as an act of discipline, as a victory against your own doubts. You might walk into the gym feeling tired, maybe even defeated. But when you push through it, you prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you thought. Exercise becomes a metaphor for life. When you push through the discomfort, that's where the growth happens. That's where you build strength that goes beyond muscle. It's the strength of character. Or think about learning. How many times have you had to push yourself to read or study? The resistance we feel comes from the idea that learning is a requirement, something that's forced upon us. But what if we started seeing learning as a journey of discovery? What if we viewed knowledge as a tool to unlock new worlds, new opportunities, new ways of thinking that could change our lives? Suddenly, learning becomes exciting. It becomes something to look forward to. Knowledge becomes a passport to a life you've never even dreamed of, taking you places that the uninformed can never go. Think of it like this. How many successful people do you know who are constantly learning? The likes of Steve Jobs, Oprah Winfrey, or even someone like Elon Musk. They're always reading, growing, adapting. Why? Because they know that knowledge is power. It's not just about accumulating facts. It's about building your ability to think critically, solve problems, and innovate. When you make learning a habit, it doesn't feel like a task anymore. It becomes a thrilling adventure, one that's going to open doors you never imagined. And let's not forget our routines. We all have them. We know that sticking to a routine is essential for success. But let's be honest. How many times have you found yourself groaning at the thought of following a daily schedule, feeling trapped in the monotony of it all? Routines can feel constricting when we don't connect them to something larger than ourselves. But routines are not just about going through the motions. They're the building blocks of a successful life. Every time you wake up early to work on your goals, every time you stick to a habit you've committed to, you're laying the foundation for success. It's not about the task itself. It's about the person you're becoming in the process. The truth is, routines are like the structure of a house. At first, you might not see the beauty of the walls, the floor, the ceiling, but over time, you realize they are the framework that holds everything else in place. Without a strong structure, a house can't stand. Without solid routines, your life can't grow and evolve the way it needs to. Every small step you take, no matter how monotonous it may seem, is another brick in the foundation of your future success.